about that, I want to.
Mm,
You brought up earlier, and it kind of sparked a thought in my head about hip hop nowadays and how it's, hip hop used
mm,
to be, it was a party culture thing, so everything was very dancey and it was easy to choreograph music to it. Nowadays, you said rappers are just like not even on beat anymore. And I wonder if there's something to the correlation between, like, people used to go to parties and now people don't go to parties. They sit in their
mhm.
house and numb themselves with either screens or substances. And I wonder if that correlation kind of
Yeah.
contributes to this change in hip hop.
Yeah, I think maybe that's a good insight. Like maybe the fact that a lot of our time is spent at home, sitting around on our phones and stuff, then art reflects, in my opinion, art reflects where we're kind of at in society a lot of the time. And so I feel like if I was gonna make music for someone who was inside all the time, on their phone all the time, it would be a lot more mellow. I wouldn't be as worried as getting their energy high. I wouldn't be as worried as all this high effort stuff because it's not going to a high effort lifestyle, you know? Um, yeah, and I just, of course, there's a aspect to the people don't dance really either. I remember when my friends and I would go to the club when we were younger, we were going there to dance, especially as dancers. We were like, we're going to start a circle and we're going to freestyle all night. I would go to the club and I would leave like so sweaty because I would just be dancing the whole time. There was no motive beside just going to dance to good music. You know what I mean? And now people are trying to be their favorite celebrities so much, and they
Yeah.
go to the clubs now, and they just stand there and try to be like nonchalant because you're doing too much if you care. You know what I mean? Um,
Mm.
and I think that that culture has become the norm for a lot of people. Everyone wants to be nonchalant. Everyone wants to be cool. Everyone wants to pretend they're in like a TikTok edit. That they can't allow themselves to have fun because having fun would make you look cringe, and
Yeah.
giving effort to something would make you look cringe. I even see this as a choreographer. It's very I mean, thankfully a lot of the students I get are spectacular, but it's very far and few in between where you find those students who will learn a new trick on their own time so you can use it in the routine, or will go above and beyond to give back to the choreography. You know, it's
Mm.
with some groups it is like pulling teeth to get them to practice outside of class and stuff. And again, it could, a part of that could be, oh, if my friends see me practicing, they're going to think I'm like doing too much. You know, I care about something, and that's not cool. Um, uh,
How weird is that?
right? And I think that, yeah, it's very odd. I think this I think this culture of even men are kind of getting sucked into it with the whole stoicism thing, and it's gone so far that like stoicism now is being a blank white wall that has no emotion and no like care for anything besides going to work and coming home. You know,
Yeah.
um,
Refugia is my prayer and spiritual formation app that I made because it was an app that I wanted to use, and other people seem to like it as well. So, what can you do with Refugia? Well, you can go onto Refugia right now, and for free, absolutely free, these are all the features you can access for free. You can access an audio rosary absolutely free. We have the Divine Mercy Chaplet. We have a whole library of prayers. We also have scripture, including the daily gospel reading and 5 different translations of the Bible, including in English, Latin, Spanish, French, and Tagalog. And that's everything that's available for free. There's also an entire library of hundreds of different books that you can access for only $5 a month, $4.99 a month. For example, we have Imitation of Christ, we have Confessions by St. Augustine, we have City of God by St. Augustine, we have the entire Summa by St. Thomas Aquinas, Interior Castle, Story of a Soul, all these great, beautiful works. And just recently, I've added the major works of every church father for the first 8 centuries of Christianity into this library. And all of that is accessible for $4.99 a month, not only to read, but you can also listen to those books. All of this was created with the intention of making it easier to develop a habit of spiritual reading and prayer every single day. So all of that is to say, go and check out Refugia today at refugia.download. Only on iOS for now, coming to Android hopefully soon. I hope this app is as much of a blessing to you as it has been to me. Let's get back to the video.
Yeah, and I've always been like a very extra person. You can see I'm a very extra person, right? So I've always been the guy to be like jumping around, high energy, making jokes. So it's been very hard for me to understand this culture of like chill because I'm not a very chill person.
So I'm the opposite of you. I'm like very quiet. When I
Okay.
go to a if I go somewhere where people are dancing, I am not dancing. Like if I go to a wedding, even at my own wedding, it was like pulling teeth to get me to dance. I was like, I'm not gonna dance. But but the difference is like I see people dancing and I'm like, I want to do that, but I just know I'm gonna look like an idiot
Mm.
and I don't want to look like an idiot. And so it's more of a fear rather than like, oh, look at those people. They're so extra. They're trying too hard or whatever. Like, I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I want to be more extroverted. I want to be more of a bubbly personality, I guess. But I'm just like, I'm not. And I don't, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that. But I'm just
But
like,
that's good. That's like it's good to have the variety of that. You know what I mean?
mm,
It's good to have people that
that's
are
true
more
too. Yeah.
extroverted and people that are more introverted. And I feel like it's almost with a lot of younger people nowadays, it's almost been looked at as bad to be extroverted. And anytime you try to eliminate a side of people, it's just it's not going to be good. Again, it affects art. It affects the way people interact in society. It affects how we think about things on our own time. If it's not cool to do too much, why would you ever research philosophy? Why would you
That's
ever look
true.
into your worldview beliefs? You know, like yeah,
That's really true. Yeah. It's like, it kind of reminds me of when you're just walking around and you're crossing paths with somebody and you both just like look away because you don't want to be the person that's like
yeah,
hello and then they ignore you or something and then you're the idiot.
yeah,
I've
yeah.
kind of started to like when I walk around with my wife, I'll just be like I'll just say hi to people and sometimes they'll ignore me. And my
Hmm.
wife will look at me like, "Oh, you
Yeah,
got ignored." But I'm like, "You know what? It's okay cuz I'd rather live in a world where people are okay saying hello even if they get ignored rather than the opposite of like, well, we're just going to all ignore each other by default then cuz I don't want to be the one that gets ignored." Like
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what else to do other than just be the guy that's embarrassed all the time of being ignored.
Right. I mean, that's why my girlfriend and I we love smaller towns because
Yeah.
we get claustrophobic in big cities a little bit. And the town I live in now, like people walking by will just be like, "Good morning," and they've never seen you in their life, and like to
Yep.
someone who looks like me, you know. So it's very much gotten me to do that more. And now, if it's the morning time and I'm walking by someone, good morning. And if they ignore me, that's okay. Maybe they're introverted. Who knows? But
Mhm.
I'm not going to not be friendly because I'm scared of someone else not being friendly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then it becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy of like, well, nobody said no, like nobody talks to each other in this town. It's like, okay, do you talk to anybody in this town? Like, do you go out of your way to talk to
Yeah.
strangers
Yeah.
and you know, in a safe way, of course, because talk to strangers has a bad connotation. But if you're an adult and you're
Yeah.
safe, you can talk to strangers and say hello and be courteous. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a weird cycle of like nobody does it, so nobody does it, and it just like is a
Yeah.
feedback
It's a
loop.
self perpetuating thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people should be what's opposite of nonchalant? Should people be chalant?
Yeah. Super chalant.
Be extra chalant, guys.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
care
Be
about stuff.
extra chalant.
Like right now
Yeah. I mean, that's,
the World Cup is happening right now, and I feel like an
mm,
idiot because I'm the guy that's like jumping up and down and screaming. Like that's when I do become extroverted. I'm that's when it comes out, and I'm
mm.
just like losing my mind. And then I look around and people are like, "Are you okay?" And that's why it's good. So my family's from Argentina, so I'm gonna when I go watch the game with them, everybody's freaking out, everybody's
Mm,
screaming because I think, you know, maybe this is like more of a West, like I guess, well, Argentina's Western as well, an American thing, like where people are scared of expressing emotions or something. But in South
mm,
America and people who come from there, they're just like they're very emotional people, and I think it's good. But I don't
mm.
know how to recapture that in American culture.
I mean, I think just, I mean, again, when I'm working with my students, they're younger, so I feel like I have to be that. kind of example for them to be like, hey, you can care about stuff, you can be
Yeah.
energetic, you can have fun, right? Yeah, because as long as people aren't fighting against that curve, it's only going to get worse. And yeah, like I said, if you think it's too much to care about something, you're never going to look into your own beliefs. You're going to be too scared about your friends disagreeing with you, so you're not going to question yourself. And I think that's a massive thing that's caused people to be unhappy and have mental health problems. I think a big aspect that nobody talks about is the fact that people are scared to critically think and have these intellectually stimulating conversations because they're scared of their friends hating them now if they talk about it or they ask about it or they have these
Yeah.
conversations. And we got to be okay with people disagreeing with us, and we also have to remember that there was a time when the person you're talking to, well, there's a time when you didn't know what the person you're talking to doesn't know. And I think people forget that too. They think, oh, I know this now, so I've always known this subconsciously. You know what I mean? And oh, you're so dumb for not understanding this. But
Yeah.
we forget that we had to research and correct ourselves and critique ourselves to get to this point that we're at now. And then also, we still might be wrong. That's why we have to talk to people who disagree with us or who just don't share the same beliefs, right? It doesn't even necessarily have to be a disagreement. It could just be, I'm not really there yet. Um,
Right.
yeah, you don't got to think the same way as all your family and friends, and they don't have to think the same way as you, but you both have to be open to having those conversations so you can learn from each other. Otherwise, it's never going to improve, right?
Yeah. It's almost like a culture wide either fear of confrontation or over seeking confrontation, where it's like there are people
Yeah,
out there
yeah,
who
yeah,
just
just
want to
like
argue.
contrarian.
Yeah. And then there are people out there who are like, well, I don't want
Mhm.
to express my beliefs because then somebody might be upset, or I don't want to think about my beliefs because then I might, develop beliefs that are different from my friend group or whatever. And it's like
Yeah,
we could all just like I'm sure if you and I talk long enough, we're gonna find something we disagree about and we're not gonna hate each other over it.
yeah, right.
It's okay.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, oh, okay.
Like everybody you talk to,
Yeah, I
you
mean,
disagree with them on something.
yeah, you're never gonna find. I mean, you might find one person in your entire life who shares literally every same opinion and belief as you. But I mean, my closest friends I've been friends with for 18 years. We hang out almost every weekend. We have very differing opinions on a lot of things, and these are the people I would jump in front of a train for. You know what I mean? These are the people I would do anything for. If you yeah, I think it's the reason a lot of people don't have real friends now too, because they only keep people in their circle that they only know enough about to think think everything the same as them. They find out they think something different, and then that person's the worst person in the world, and they have to be out of their life. And now you don't have any deep built relationships because you're gonna inevitably disagree on something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. A lot of people don't know this because I don't really talk about it, but I can speak 3.5 languages. Apart from English, which I'm still trying to master, I also have learned Spanish, Vietnamese, and a little bit of Japanese. And what I've learned through learning all of these different languages is that there are some very effective ways and some very not effective ways to learn a language. And unfortunately, most of the apps out there today focus on the ineffective ways because they can get you addicted to using the app. And that's why I created Vosello, because it actually takes all of these broad spectrum of language learning approaches that science has shown are effective and it combines them into one app experience. And from your very first lesson, you practice speaking the language you're trying to learn. Each lesson is structured around a certain theme that is applicable to a real world situation. And what you do is you go through some vocab, then you have listening comprehension that it puts that vocab into use and you can practice understanding a conversation using that vocab. And then you get to actually speak the language with an AI tutor. So after a lesson on, let's say, ordering coffee at a cafe, you actually get to talk to an AI tutor that takes you through role playing as if you're actually at a cafe and the AI is taking your order in your target language. This is an approach that science has shown time and time again is effective if you're trying to actually learn a language. So if you want to stop guessing and learn a language the way that science actually says is effective, then go to vosello.app and download Vosello today. All right, let's get back to the video.